The last few hours here, Rockdale County lifted a countywide shelter-in-place triggered by a chemical fire. The fire broke out around 5 a.m. Sunday at the BioLab facility in Conyers. And tonight, the evacuation zone around the BioLab facility has also been lifted, allowing 17,000 people to return to their homes.
And officials say the fire started when a sprinkler head malfunctioned. The water somehow mixed with the chemicals inside the facility, which caused a chemical reaction, which then started the fire on the roof. Well, the fire sent a major plume of smoke and chemicals into the air. That plume of smoke then continued to rise as firefighters added more water to fight the flames.
Tonight, federal and state authorities say they have detected chlorine in the air around BioLab. And we have live team coverage for you tonight. Our chief meteorologist, Chris Holcomb, is tracking those wind patterns and air quality concerns. But first, let's get you straight out to 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn live in Conyers. And Cody, this has caused physical irritations for some people out there.
And Jennifer and Ron, we've heard from a lot of our viewers reaching out to us, asking questions, and I actually spoke to one of our viewers who lives about 20 miles away from here over in Gwinnett County, who says this gas plume took over his neighborhood.
This like fog, but not like any fog I've ever seen, just started like coming past our house.
Tom Wilson sharing pictures he snapped Monday morning in Lawrenceville.
I could taste, it tasted like chlorine from a pool.
The chlorine gas coming from a BioLab facility here in Conyers, exposed after officials say a sprinkler head malfunctioned, the water reacting with chemicals inside the facility, one for sure known to be chlorine, the wind carrying the gas for miles.
Kind of like almost like rolling over the top of the house and coming around the sides and really just starting to like envelop everything.
By the time Tom says he was able to get back inside,
immediately I started feeling like this like itchiness in my throat.
Not too long after gas plumes rolled in,
we started coughing and gagging, and we realized that this was the chlorine from the fire that was completely consuming our neighborhood.
Deciding to take precautions throughout the day as the plumes continue rising from the BioLab facility.
You don't know if the wind's going to change, and that's going to come back, so we've left the ACs off, and as you can tell, I'm sweating a bit inside.
I do want to tell you guys, you can smell that chlorine out here, and we literally are just learning this. While that evacuation zone has been lifted, I just spoke to a woman who was driving back from Stone Mountain. She evacuated to her mother's house. She says they got back here about 10:30, and it's so bad near that BioLab facility, they actually could not get back to their home despite this evacuation order lifted. She says, quote, "We began coughing, our dogs even sneezing in the car as we got close to our house. So now we have turned around and we're heading back to Stone Mountain." So while they did lift this evacuation zone, Ron and Jennifer, it does sound like things are still pretty bad close to the facility, and some people not being able to go back home tonight. It's something we're following up on. I literally just got this from her in the last 5 minutes, so we'll follow up on this for sure.
All right, Cody, better for them to take the precaution they feel they need to. Thank you so much. BioLab is a company that makes pool and spa treatments. Between federal and local reports, we found at least 3 fires have happened at that same facility in Conyers in the last 2 decades. The Environmental Protection Agency investigated a fire in 2004. The Chemical Safety Board then noted a similar incident in 2020. Tonight, 11 Alive uncovered more than a dozen violations reported by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, known as OSHA. Most of the violations deemed serious. We found the company has faced at least $67,000 in fines from OSHA since 2004. Now, as we work to learn more about this developing story, we can send you a link directly with all of the information that we have gathered. Just text the word chemical fire to 404-885-7600 and get that information sent straight to your phone.
All right, let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb, tracking the wind out there. So a lot of folks are concerned about the air quality.
And we're keeping a close eye on that. And there's a lot involved with that air quality when you're dealing with something like this. Of course, you often think of the wind that you have to keep an eye on with these smoky skies as well, of how that impacts the air quality. But there are a lot of other things we need to watch as well. The cloud cover, whether or not that's going to help trap any of that smoke or any of those chemicals, as well as an inversion layer that often happens in the morning hours. Think of the day after July 4th, after all the fireworks. Sometimes you wake up the next morning with smoke there, and that's because of that morning inversion layer. And it's possible we could see that again tomorrow. I don't think anything would be as thick as it was this morning. Now, this afternoon, we went to good air quality with a green there. We're back to yellow. That often happens in the evening hours when we see the calm winds out there. In fact, you can see we have calm conditions in Athens, Covington, Peachtree City, all around. Atlanta, though, does have 8-mile-an-hour winds, and the flow is generally from the northwest, which is kind of keeping that smoke not coming from the Rockdale County area. Stay with us. We'll keep tracking these conditions as well as whether or not we're going to see any additional rain chances as we go through the rest of the week and the 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, Chris, we'll see you in a couple of minutes, sir.